Abeline Rizanamami is an elderly widow who lives in central Madagascar. Now 71, she's proud of her independence.
As my son is married, I don't really want to rely on him, since he himself has a family to take care of. I want to be able to look after myself. And anyway, I can still do things for myself.
Abeline maintains her independence by growing a lot of rice, something she learned to do by adopting a technique called the System for Rice Intensification, or SRI.
My rice field is about half a hectare. I know the field is small, but it really produces. It's because I use SRI that the yield has increased a lot. I can do as well as farmers with a hectare or two of land.
The system for rice intensification was developed here in the early 1980s by Father Henry de Laulany, a French Jesuit priest who worked with local farmers. The method relies upon the transplanting of very young seedlings, which are grown in sparsely seeded nurseries. The seedlings are transplanted individually with no tuft and set at precise spaces between each other. The method requires irrigation with a minimum quantity of water and systematic drainage. This field has been planted using the traditional method, and this one on the right was planted at the same time using SRI. Recorded yields have increased from an average of 2 tonnes of paddy per hectare to 8 or even 12 tonnes with local varieties of rice. And now the knowledge is being passed on from farmer to farmer across the country and even abroad, through an initiative financed by the UN's International Fund for Agricultural Development, or IFAD. Abeline too is taking part.
I'm very happy because I really profited from learning myself, so why not teach others? Now in this area, no one is using traditional methods anymore. Everyone is planting in lines today.
The method appears to be catching on. Researchers from Reading University in Britain have estimated that as many as 5 million farmers across the world are now growing rice using SRI.
On the northern coastline of Morocco lies the peri-urban village of Diki. Many species of fish found here in the Strait of Gibraltar, where the Atlantic and Mediterranean meet, have a very high market value. Traditionally, fishermen worked alone here, but their opportunities for growth and development and their bargaining power were severely limited. So the formation of fishing cooperatives, supported in this area by the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, and IFAD, is bringing major new opportunities.
They received a lot of fishing equipment worth €20,000, which has improved their working conditions and reduced their expenses. This was made possible by the formation of a fishing group and the cooperative spirit created by the project.
Members benefit from buying fuel, bait and ice as a group and decide together how to organize their work and sales. A good-sized tuna can sell for more than €1,000. So even though there are 5 months a year when they cannot fish, a successful tuna season can bring in enough income for the whole year. However, with limited infrastructure and increasingly depleted stocks, not all the fishing seasons are successful. So the FAO and IFAD project has helped establish an alternative form of income. A second cooperative was formed, specializing in the production and marketing of honey.
I'm a fisherman. I work on the sea, but we were trained in beekeeping to get an extra income. It's good to have another job.
Access to grants and subsidies is making a real difference. And with fish and honey from this region in great demand, cooperative members are optimistic that their situation is improving. For Hungry Planet, this is Boudica Downs.
We are baking bread like we used to do at home.
Like many other people in Yemen, Mariam Ali fled from conflict in Saada 3 years ago and settled in a safe place near a camp that was already full.
Near Saada and Malakhait, where our homes are, there is no government. Our homes are destroyed, and there are no jobs, no money, and the landmines are everywhere.
But displacement of more than 500,000 people is not the only problem facing Yemen, the poorest country in the Arab world. Civil unrest and waves of violence have left many families struggling to rebuild their homes and shattered lives.
The fighting in this area was really heavy. Our building was hit by the bullets coming from the buildings in front, and this area, Al-Hasaba, was cut off from all supplies.
Increasing food and fuel prices are holding Yemen back from economic recovery, pushing many families into poverty and hunger. The most vulnerable, the children, are paying the highest price. The levels of chronic malnutrition are second worst in the world. Here in Hodeidah, WFP provides specialized nutritional products to children with malnutrition. In the Yemeni capital, health workers struggle with bad nutrition on a daily basis.
Many cases come to our hospital just eating bread and tea. So they get malnourished baby comes with severe diarrhea, severe illness, skin changes, deficiency in minerals and zinc.
WFP has been working in Yemen for years to address the needs of the most vulnerable.
45% of the population that are food insecure, and half of those, that's about 5 million people, are severely food insecure, which means they're hungry. They don't have enough food either to buy or produce. So we will increase our response to some 4 million people in providing them some safety net with food over 6 months of the year, and at the same time we'll continue the response to the internally displaced people and the nutrition. And this will make us reach more than 5 million people over the next year.
If stability doesn't return to Yemen soon, another generation will be lost to hunger.